I got a question, man.
Yeah.
Is that douche de louche or douche de lique frappe?
The what?
The douche de louche or de la whatever frappe? What the fuck that?
Leche, I mean.
What's the dose? Is it douche or de loose?
Duce.
Duce. All right.
Yeah. So while we're still on the topic of like games and shit, what did you think about hearing when I sent you or told you about it? Like the whole alleged Arkham remake, the Arkham Asylum remake.
So,
and like,
let
me rephrase that a little bit. Like, not what do you think about it, but like, what are what can be done as far as like remaking that game at this point that hasn't already kind of, because like I guess the remakes or remasters we got last time were kind of booty, but like what can be done with those?
Huge reason for these remakes. Having an excuse to carry on the same Batman character with a new voice actor. Same continuity. Kevin Conroy isn't going to, especially since they're rebooting.
Oh, like they remake them and just add a new guy to it?
Exactly, and it's...
I mean, yeah.
Adjacent enough, and especially with it being a remake, I'm sure they can go around, maybe play with certain things, whatnot, revamp it.
I think that would be shooting themselves in the foot, though, if they were to like remake Arkham Asylum and then it's not even the original voice of Batman. I think people would prefer to just be like, I'll just play the Kevin Conroy version. Like, I mean, that's not the original. Like, that's not my Batman.
Like Batman, or like this remake, like looking at the level of like how Suicide Squad looked like, that's like the one thing it had going for it. It was a very nice looking engine, and it's still having that like 2009 Kevin Conroy voice lines. It's kind of like how
fine. It's not even outdated.
Oh yeah, no.
Like, the lines aren't outdated.
I'm just saying,
not like it was recorded in like the 70s or something. This shit was in like 2009 or 10 or whatever. Like it's fine,
Yeah.
AI upscale it, make it sound crispier, fucking.
I mean, like, maybe if there's like a mode or like, Kevin Conroy mode, like you have the classics. I feel like it would be a smart way for them if they wanted to, especially in the
that would be disrespectful as all hell, though, to the fans. You're telling me that 90% of the people out there wouldn't feel like that was like insane move to try to pull, where you took a remake of a game that's beloved and then you took the reason why like so many people look to it as like that guy killed the performance, and then they have a fucking new guy just like over everything he recorded. People would be like, what the fuck? I'll just play the 360 or the other version. It has the actual guy in it. Why would I want to play some dude doing a fucking, oh, I'm the new Batman? It's like, don't sell me this shit. Like, imagine if you bought a fucking, I'm trying to think of a necessarily like a good example here. Like, you're a big fan of zombies. You like Rick Toffin or all that shit. You know those voices. Like, some fucking just like dev in the office. Like, some fat dude being like, this shit stinks, like trying to record. You'd be like, God, that's so cheap. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't know. He's dead, but like I think 90% of people would be okay with like leave the lines alone, improve like everything else. I just think like, there's better ways to do it, because I mean, honestly, like just get someone don't even, not for necessarily the remakes, but if they're going to continue the Arkham universe at all and they want to like keep doing Batman, which supposedly they want to do, is what I've been hearing. That's like the word around town, is that they want to keep doing Batman shit.
What I was saying, in that sense, they're going to have to at one point.
Yeah, and in that sense, just have somebody that sounds and can do Batman's like Kevin Conroy. And it's not even, oh, they got to do a Kevin Conroy impression. No, they're doing the voice of Batman. It's a character. They have to sound like that character. Do you know what I mean? Like, when he talked as Batman, he was talking as Batman. Like, he was doing a character. Just sound like that character. If you could sound just like how he did when he played Batman, that would be sick. Now you're Batman. And maybe you're younger, or maybe you got a little bit of a twist to it. Like, that's fine.
It's kind of like what they did with Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian. They found a dude that sounded and looked enough like him, and then AI'd it enough to indistinguishable. Like, that's Luke Skywalker.
I'm sure there's someone out there that can sound enough like that voice, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like the fucking Kevin Conroy Batman voice. It's not even that like unique,
Easy.
I guess. I mean, it's good. I'm not trying to shit on him. I'm just saying like I'm sure it's someone out there can do that
Yeah,
voice
definitely.
that would be looking for a job to work for a game like that. But I don't know. I I agree with you. It would be that is a good reason to definitely like try to pull a remake and be like we can just like slyly put this in and like people will be comfortable now if we have our next game come out and it's the same voice actor, they'll know him already, cool. But at the same time, that's a pre-existing game that already had someone work on it, and that guy died recently. And like
Hmm.
that's something that people were pretty sensitive to in
Like,
Suicide Squad and shit. And I feel like it would be
when do you think
extremely
this game
fucked up.
coming out?
What, the remake?
Mhm.
Fuck, probably 2 years from now, next year, or the year after, probably
I
2026 or
feel
something like that.
like
We're like getting
obviously.
like teases of it. We haven't even gotten like an official announcement.
Okay,
So
yeah,
if it is a thing, I would assume probably like a couple years from now.
it's out there. Yeah, I mean, it would give it a little bit more time to die off. Like, obviously, like I agree.
It
Like,
doesn't matter though. It's like
yeah,
it's the point of like I don't even I wouldn't care that much to be honest. It's not even me. I just know how the community is where it's like people would be very upset. Yeah, like that's a scummy move. It's like you're greedy as fuck. You remade this game and instead of just like using his voice lines, you guys hired somebody else to redub like all of the voice lines from this game.
I
And then
could
you're
have like,
taking Kevin Conroy off the fucking cast, like in the putting some
yeah,
guy's name on it instead. It's like that was his shit. That was his work. It's kind
yeah,
of shitty to be like the new generation of kids are gonna know Arkham Asylum by this guy. He's Batman. It's like no, the original guy was Kevin Conroy. He died and then hired some new guy to make his game that he already made 10 years ago. And now everyone's gonna know this guy instead as the guy. Oh, that you guys played Arkham Asylum? It's like which one?
yeah,
The new one or the fucking old one? It's like,
yeah, the
oh,
original.
oh, I play that piece of shit. That thing's 12 years old, 15 years old. I don't want to play that. And it's like, dude, you're missing out. That shit had Mark Hamill, fucking, yeah, Kevin Conroy, yeah.
In my opinion, like, if I could like have like a voice like in like the Warner Bros. Like game division, wherever the fuck, whoever the fuck does it, and be like, and like, yeah, like go ahead and like like do the remakes of the original trilogy, but like also at the same time, instead of going ahead and making those Batman games, do a fucking different character rather.
Yeah, focus. That's what I'm thinking too. Like you're talking about like they reintroducing Batman. It's like fuck, man. Like we haven't even done anything else in over 10 years, 12 years. It's like yeah, reintroduce Batman when it's time to do so. I mean, like if they want to remake the old one, fine. That's cool, like you said. But if you're talking about pumping out a new Batman game, fucking put something else out. Not Batman again. And if you are going to make it
Reinvent the
make
wheel
it
with
different.
it. Yeah,
Like we've just like made bullshit little ideas that sounded cool and just like out of like like this character taking over the mantle, da 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 da, whatever the fuck it is. It's like you could do anything like that and continue that little pre-existing universe with this lore, but you're not fucking up the Kevin Conroy Batman legacy that you
exactly.
guys created. He's still untouched. Batman died in this universe, whatever the fuck. Maybe they brought him, I don't know, whatever, but like
Just
you
like
don't have to
Batman.
even go near it. You don't even have to
The
touch it.
Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Arkham series. It's the Gotham series, something shit like that. And whenever I saw that thing, like WB, like oh us moving forward, we're doing Harry Potter, more DC games, but Batman, uh, Lord of the Rings, and whatever the fuck else. I'm like,
Hear me
why
out.
Batman? Why Batman?
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Penguin the game. You're playing as the Arkham Penguin, right?
Yeah.
And it has the Nemesis system from Shadow of Mordor.
Okay.
And you have brackets like in Mafia 3 where like you can own different parts of the city and like you have to get them and you can have people run them and shit and collect money and all that. And like there's like crime aspect of it where you have to like fight people, kill them, whatever. And you're like kind of doing the Vice thing of like building up your empire. And like within that they could have like, Batman to where like you have to fight him or some shit. Or like he's like the impending threat of like if your district gets too hot or something like that, he can come out and like that'll trigger Batman to like come on your ass type shit and try to fuck you up. And it's like, oh no, like
I do
show
like
up.
that. I don't know how I feel about Penguin. I feel like that movement it would just be like hobbling and like like
That is
other than like
true.
a crazy ass
I guess
jump or
not.
like
I guess maybe if
uh,
it wasn't the Penguin from the fucking
Arkham,
Arkham games, yeah, we don't even have to restrict it to that
something
necessarily.
like that.
I just like the
Red Hood,
mob part of it, like the underworld of Gotham would be kind of cool to
Black
explore
Mask,
with inside that character. Black Mask is boring as fuck though.
with the Falcons, or one of
I
those
don't
like
know.
OG mobsters. Maybe it's a
A,
prequel
a
story
villain
back.
of any kind, honestly, like would be pretty cool. Like if they made a game like that, like where you get to play as the like a couple of bad guys or something like that. You know what I mean?
Suicide Squad.
Be really bad. Not Suicide Squad though.
No, I
Not like
totally like a
honestly, dude,
single
Suicide
player.
Squad would have been fucking good if it was just a single player narrative game that me and you could have went through and played it, and they didn't focus so much on the fucking like live
Battle
service,
stuff. Yeah.
resource gathering, skin
Something that's
purchasing.
a
Like
good
if it
game.
was because imagine how much better the story would have been if they didn't try to make it like that, where it was like we're gonna try to force in a live service element to this game with battle passes and different chapters, and it was just like a complete narrative from beginning to end we could have played, and it was like a 20
Yeah,
hour,
like
30-hour
ooh,
story.
you're
It would
dead.
have
You have to
been
kill them off
so
and then
much better.
rescue them all back. That would have been wow.
Yeah.
I would have played that
Would have been
easily.
so much better. That's what I'm saying. And instead, it turned into it's like here's a live service fucking game that you can play with your friend, but it's like basically just like doing the same thing over and over and over again, then watching a cutscene. It's like, and then oh, you want to figure out what happens in the story? Come back next time and buy the battle pass and fucking
Yeah.
play this shitty ass like femme fucking character that got gender swapped that you don't even want to play as. Have they even came out with Deathstroke yet?
No, I'm guessing that they're gonna save him for
You mean
last.
she?
Yeah. It.
Oh, it's probably gonna be a fucking girl watch.
Yeah. They done that so far. Miss Freeze.
What if it was
Um.
Tara? That's pretty cool. Not gonna
Tara.
lie.
Yeah. I would go for Tara.
She, I remember her being like Deathstroke's little fucking protege or whatever, little trainee.
His little subject.
Yeah.
Uh. What is it? Even that fucking last one that they put out, what was it, Lawless or whatever, the Floyd Lawton's daughter. It's literally like the same. It's like a jetpack, but it like you like float. It's like a crystal that makes you float or some shit instead of it, and it's like you
I
get to like
yeah,
a little
that
bit.
game
Like I'm like, oh my god.
that game fucking flopped, and I knew it from the moment I seen like what the gameplay was, and like that wasn't going to be what I thought. Because like when I seen that get revealed or whatever, it looked cool, like the cinematic of Superman and all that. I was like, ooh.
Oh yeah.
I remember us
Originally,
sending shit to each other, and then we found out it was what it was, and I was like, oh, like not a
yeah.
live service shooter,
Like,
dude. This shit's about to suck. Yeah, I thought it was about to be like how Batman is. Like we're about to get like a really in-depth city. I remember talking about that with you before the game came out, being like, can't wait to explore like the city and like the little Easter eggs and like free roam and just see the shit in the universe, and it's like nothing like that. It's like fuck.
had it, but like not nearly
I
as
like
in depth.
Gotham Knights more than I like Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah.
And that kind of says
Completely.
a lot because Gotham Knights wasn't anything to like, it wasn't a crazy good game. I mean, it wasn't bad necessarily, but it was kind of run of
It
the
had
mill, cheap kind of story. I mean, I don't know. I didn't hate it. I'll say that. People gave that game a really hard time, but like I said, I liked it more than
I
I
like the
liked
more I
Suicide Squad.
like the hands, like the more just fighting style rather than shooting a
Yeah.
gun. actually gave it like some skill rather than like, oh,
And the city
counter.
was cooler. You got like cool traversal options, and you got vehicles and shit.
I remember whenever they give you vehicles in Suicide Squad, but it was tethered to a mission.
I remember being extremely cool whenever like you'd be fighting someone in Gotham Knights and like I'd jump down and all of a sudden just like take someone out. We'd just start teaming up out of nowhere.
Yeah. Even the fucking boss fights, like Clayface, all that. Remember the
Dude, I
Clay, like
remember,
you had to cross the map and fight his ass? Like he's like a giant tidal wave of clay.
yeah, I remember us watching like a review and the dude said that like, yeah, you'll jump in and all of a sudden just like you'll be doing your own thing and your friend will be on a whole other side of the city fighting somebody and you'll just like drop in and see him and be like come out of the shadows and just like fucking start kicking ass with him. I was like, oh yeah, I'm sure. It's probably like that shit and like they film like a gameplay video and it's like very scripted and shit. No way that ever actually organically happens. Dude, that shit happened all the time in our game. But like the time with it where like you were fighting a bunch of goons or something on the street and all of a sudden I'd just like drop out of the sky as Robin and be like, yeah. It was always like you did that too, and I remember game clipping and shit's like that shit was cinematic as fuck. Like,
Oh,
holy shit, that's dope. My only complaint, not even complaint, but just like sad and wish was that they would have opened up the ending to be like, here's Batman. Like one of
yeah.
y'all can, someone in your team can play him now. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
would
like
have been
even like
so cool.
how they hyped up the Young Justice characters like Superboy, Arsenal, Supergirl, or no, I don't think they did Supergirl, but characters, Kid Flash, all that.
I think they did that dead ass and like, oh, if this does well, we'll do that. And then it didn't live up to the expectations they were hoping for. And it's like, sadly, we can't follow through with any of this shit.
One of those powered characters, I would have shit.
Yeah, I'm fucking very sad we didn't get that.
In another
So,
time.
what's your favorite and least favorite Arkham game?
Ooh.
Favorite first, least favorite second. And then vice versa, I'll go after.
See, this is about to be really controversial because, oh man, I don't even. I'm gonna get a bunch of flack for this. I already know, but I want to, in my opinion, I want to say Knight is best because that's the one, like, hands down, like, I've put the most time into out of the trilogy.
I don't know if that's that controversial.
I mean, there's a lot of people who hate that game. Like the
I've
Batmobile.
seen a lot of people talk like that is the best one because it perfected the combat the most. Like that is the culmination of like all of the free flow combat getting like that's the best version of it. You get the most amount of gadgets, the versatility of having a bigger city with the Batmobile and shit. I don't.
Yeah,
That's a pretty safe pick.
Oh, the least favorite. See, oh,
this is so easy for me.
I hate to say it, but Arkham. Or not
Arkham.
Arkham. Yeah, my bad.
Damn, is your least favorite.
I would, the story.
You know, like the restrictiveness of the asylum or something.
That's my only thing. Just
yeah, I get that. You're kind of closed off in hallways the whole fucking game.
And then the story of City is peak, like that alone. Like
City's
that one.
Fuck, man. City's probably my favorite overall. Combat and all that obviously is Knight did better, but it doesn't matter to me. So it's still really good. And City's probably overall better. But my least favorite is probably Origins because.
Oh, I didn't even think about that being as an option.
Yeah, I mean it is. Yeah, I don't like Origins probably out of all. I mean it's good, but I'd consider that my least favorite.
Oh,
I would say that City is better. I don't know. Knight is really good, but also I felt like City was better because it had more to it with the story. I like the story a lot. I like you said it's peak.
Oh, yeah.
And that just the whole vibe of the actual game is good. Knight is good too. It's more depressing to me. It's a lot more mature, I guess. Like they go into a little darker there.
It's the long Halloween.
Yeah.
Uh, it, it's more of like like the whole like cool you do get to see a lot of the villains in it. There's a fuck ton of shit to do.
Honestly, I might convert, dude. You might have me with the Knight, but also I don't like the predictiveness of it being Jason Todd. I think that shit's really gay that they kind of spoiled that with like just the promotional like trailers and shit of the game. And it's
Yeah, but even
so
then,
fucking easy to guess that
they
the Arkham
so
Knight is literally just the goddamn Red Hood or whatever. It's like, oh wow.
it's more of like you need to
And
figure
then
this out. Batman does. It's kind of like, oh fuck, like like by the time like it's more of
you
like
don't even
seeing his
get that though.
reaction.
They basically told you in the fucking trailer of the game.
It's more of seeing Bruce's reaction to it, rather, in my
I,
opinion,
I guess, yeah.
because like all of those flashbacks, like, because why the fuck else would you be seeing those, like,
Yeah,
for real?
just tank boss battles over and over again.
Though I will give you that that is an annoying part, but there is
They're stuck to
like
that shit way too hard. They should have left that as like an
yeah,
optional, like, do you want to use this? You can use it to help you.
yeah, they shouldn't have had to make it like, oh yeah,
You should
five
have like
serpent
imagine if
waves
it
of
was like you can use the Batmobile and fight him like that if you want, but you could get out and you could grapple over to his tank and pull his ass out and you could fight him hand to hand.
yeah, like the
If you want.
Deathstroke. That one should have been, they should have been like Origins. And they literally made it to where like, oh, you fight him in a tank and he jumps out of his manhole and Batman tackles him and that's all you get. Our
They thought
fight
that
will
that
be
was
legendary,
they
Batman.
really liked the tank. They were proud of it, I
Mhm.
think. It's like that's cool, but
No, not
kind
really.
of kind of got over that one real fucking quick. I don't hate it
After
as
the first,
much as some people though. Some people act like it's the worst thing ever.
I got pretty fucking slick with the Batmobile there towards the end.
Yeah, it gets fun. People are just
It,
negative though, I
especially
suppose.
where you're like dodging all the shots, whatnot. You're getting all the ballistics, fucking shooting out smart missiles everywhere. Like, ooh.
Oh, fucking while we're on DC, Batman, all of that shit. What did you think of HBO's Penguin show that they came out with? The Matt Reeves universe Penguin.
Oh, so should I be late on spoilers?
Yeah, let's try to
Okay.
not say like anything too crazy. I don't know what spoilers are even in that show, but
You plan on watching it though, right?
yeah, I want to check it out.
So, mm, it it is a very like, especially with what they shown in the Batman, how they started establishing the Penguin, and then also how you see Carmine Falcone. That's a huge part of the story as well. It's like how you were saying about wanting to see a Penguin game. It very much is the mob side of Gotham. Like you see into that world more than just through the lens of Penguin. You get to see, like the underworld, the griminess of Gotham, and just like the amount, like the limit. Like I'm surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if like these Batman movies end up going into rated R because like the Penguin show was like holy shit. Like he was setting dudes on fire, fucking just popping them in the head. The kills in that show are shocking and fucking like,
Yeah,
oh, I
even in
can't believe
the Batman with Robert Pattinson, when he was like doing the hand to hand combat with just like those little thugs and shit on the street, I was like, damn,
that.
he's fucking them up. Like he's actually
It
kicking their ass. Like,
better.
yeah, this isn't like a lighthearted Batman that's just like, yeah, I guess it's because he's like younger type shit.
Yeah, he's
It was
nobody
year
like
two.
that
Is that
show
what he was
pretty
2 years into being Batman in the
much.
first one?
Yeah. Yeah,
Fuck.
he's a yeah, roughly that time frame sounds about right.
Is it like a big time jump to the second one, you think? Like when we start that one, is he gonna be like, oh, I've been 6 years in, or is it gonna be just like right off the bat, like,
Maybe like 3 or 4 years, if anything.
okay,
Because like in this show, like yeah, you still see all the destruction of the Riddler. That's like there's still parts of the city
I
that's
seen
flooded
they
from the dams being blown up. It's like maybe like not even a couple weeks after the events of the first Batman movie.
I seen they teased Scarecrow.
See, I don't know about that. He's
It
not
was
named
his
Jonathan
glove.
Crane.
His
I know
glove
who
and
you're
his mask was on the table.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Everyone was saying like, "Oh, Scarecrow's in the Matt Reeves fucking universe. Like they're gonna do him."
So, well, let me see. Let me pull up his name. Yeah, so his name is Julian Rush.
I'm not saying that's him or anything. I'm just saying like people were pointing out like the glove and the mask was in the shot or something like that, and they were
Yes,
like,
I'm
"Oh
saying
shit."
like is Julian Rush secretly Scarecrow in the Penguin? But I don't. Obviously, they can very well go off the rails and just make it that character. Who is they? Okay, so yeah, he is a variant of him that he could very well be. In the show, he's actually he's a doctor from Arkham Asylum. Well, like I'm not going to tell you like his connections, all that, but he
Is the
does hypnosis and a lot of that, so I could very well see it being hallucinogens, shit like that, fucking with
Yeah.
like I can. It'd be very cool to see that. Very cool setup in that sense.
I was gonna ask you before you give like your actual like review like 1 through 10 type shit or 0 through 10. Uh, is it like crucial to watch this show for the purpose of like understanding shit for the second movie, or no? Is it kind of like it just is like extra
I'll say
icing on the cake?
yes, honestly, but I'm not too sure. It depends on how much they put Penguin in this next one. But there are also
I'm sure
other
he'll
things
have a degree
outside of.
of like
I feel like
shit
he's
to
definitely
do
gonna
in the
have to be.
story. Yeah, because like what
But
was the purpose of giving him a TV show for that?
without
You know,
going
it's like what?
too much, like he is a way higher power of or way higher position of power than he was. Like he's just a little lowly. Like he's working for someone else. Whenever we see him in the
He the
Batman,
mayor of Gotham, dude.
no, he stays in his lane. That's all I'll say. But
Okay.
he gets higher than what he was. I'm not
I'm
like I'm
excited.
trying to like.
Yeah, I'm definitely
And
excited to check that shit out.
but
I seen that people were saying like Barry Keoghan was gonna get his own show, and then Matt Reeves or James Gunn, one of the two, was like, "Yeah, that's not actually a thing right now."
I
But
know like
love the enthusiasm.
like he doesn't need it. I feel like that's
I like
something you
the
would
idea
act
of
with him.
yeah, I like the idea of like several characters in that universe getting like their own like 1 season, 2 season like setups and like
Just
helping
to
them
show
kind of like flesh out the
this,
characters. But also
that'd
the
be bad.
Joker is kind of one of those characters I feel like would be better to kind of get spur of the moment. I like what they did with him in first Batman movie where it was kind of it wasn't that even cut out.
It was a deleted scene that they ended up releasing on
Yeah,
YouTube.
exact. Yeah, so it's like whether or not they even want to continue that path with having Joker being a character in those movies. Let's say they do, like it's kind of cool to have him be such a like not even we don't know shit about this guy at all. All we've seen is like this deleted scene of them like having a confrontation.
Yeah, I feel like especially since we've seen the Joaquin Phoenix version of Joker where he was alone, I feel like we should just like obviously like you see him outside of it, but more like a lot more interactions between him and actual Batman rather than him just doing his solo shit. Because if he has a show and like where it's him like fucking with Batman, might as well just make it a fucking Batman movie, you know?
Right.
Um,
So yeah,
but
they're doing this one, the next one, the Batman 2. That's gonna be like the whole winter theme of it, Frozen type shit. So
mm,
obviously Mr. Freeze and probably a setup to Scarecrow, possibly.
that'd be I mean maybe
And have we heard the last of the Riddler?
yeah, well, yeah, he was talking to Joker.
Right.
At
Okay.
least in the actual
So
movie, like yeah,
that
like he
scene
was like
got left in. So the Joker is in the movie.
you just hear his voice in the actual cut of it, and then like
So they kind of wanted to leave that even more
Mhm.
up to like
the
secret than
so
I
fun
thought.
fact, the reason why they chopped him
Are
because
they not certain on Barry Keoghan or something for Joker?
he in the same year, starred in a Marvel movie also. He was in the
Flop?
Internals.
Oh yeah, cool. So he's Joker now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a good
But
job, so there's no way
the,
they're not gonna have him come on
like,
for it.
we can't it was just like how you were saying, like we can't have like this
Exactly. You
phase
can't be in a fucking Marvel
here.
universe and the DC universe at the same time.
Mm.
It doesn't look
And
good
with
for our
this,
project when you're over
not
here on
even
their
that, just
project.
scheduling and whatnot, especially if Eternals took off and he was like one of those main faces of Marvel now,
That's
and
what
he
I'm
has to go
saying. It's
do
like
this.
you're doing
Would be
promotional
so
shit
so
as Jeremy Clark in the Eternals, and you're doing Eternals 1, Eternals 2, Eternals 3,
mm,
and you're doing all this press and there's action figures of you, but you're also Joker and Batman. It's like, what the fuck? Like, you can't, no, man, you're
schedule.
contracted as our guy. You're not their
Yeah.
guy. Like, they should get
Hmm.
their own guy. You're our guy. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
that's gonna ruin our image of Joker, like
Speaking
seeing
of
him like
fucking Joker, dude, Joker 2 was fucking mixed bag, but also kind of just shit in my opinion. It didn't really need to happen. I don't know what you 100% thought of it. Obviously, I want to get to your review of Penguin, the 1 through 10 scale. But I just don't think that movie needed it. I don't think there's much to be said about that movie. I
Joker
think that
2.
if it
Yeah.
wasn't a musical, it would have just been a better movie overall. I think the story
Yeah.
could have been cool, having to see like the trial and his repercussions for killing those people and all that shit, his descent into even further madness inside of the prison. All of that was a cool story. Leave Lady Gaga, she did a good job too, but keep the fucking singing shit to like it could have just been
Yeah.
a scene, man, where like they did that and that would have been cool. But it gets kind of to the point where every 10 to 15 minutes there's a song and it's like a 30-second scene and it's like, all right, like
From a
yeah.
hill.
It's like
What?
they were like, "Hey, Lady Gaga's in our movie. She's a
She
singer.
sings?
Let's make this a
Yeah.
musical." Yeah, this could be a musical now. But honestly, that's my review of that movie would probably be like a solid like 6 or 5, maybe like a 5. It's like very average score of like I didn't hate this, but I honestly probably won't watch it again at least anytime soon because it was kind of just boring.
Yeah. It's one and done. 5.5 for me.
Yeah, like a 5, maybe a little bit slightly above some average. Yeah, 5.5, maybe a 6.
But on the other,
But for
like,
Penguin,
yeah,
yeah,
about
for
to say
Penguin, what
Penguin,
was I gonna say?
probably like a 9 to be honest, if not a little
Damn.
like solid 10. They did their shit there. It's like the whole like thing with Marvel, like, oh, we're so back. Oh, it's so over. It's like we did good there. It's funny too how James Gunn said, I didn't touch it. Nothing to do with that one. Don't look at me.
Yeah, I think that as soon as I seen that they casted Robert Pattinson as Batman, I knew that this shit was gonna be a W. I was like, this is gonna be a good like universe of Batman where it's actually gonna be like consistent. He's not gonna just do one fucking movie and dip because he actually wants to be a part of like I want to get out of these roles of being like the hot guy or whatever. I want to
About
be a
to say,
different type of
he literally went
character. I want to be a
from
superhero
man
or some
bat
shit.
to Batman.
Yeah. And yeah, so as soon as I seen like Robert Pattinson was confirmed for Batman, not even before I seen I mean, as soon as I even seen the first movie, I was like, yeah, dude,
Oh yeah.
cool. This guy did a good job. He took it
That
serious.
first trailer, like from the
And
DC fan,
I love it
so
being a
cool.
young, just not even fully established Batman that's like, you know what I mean? He's not like super experienced. He's experimenting with gadgets still. He's not 100% there with the
And
fighting
going into
techniques yet.
the detective side of it too.
And they leaned heavily into the world's greatest detective type shit, where he's actually like scanning shit and like being a detective. And
Yeah,
I
day
love all
three,
that.
like all
I
that.
love the shots in the movie where it's all dark and gritty and gloomy. I love his suit in that. I'm really
Mm.
glad they added it to Night, Arkham Knight, because and they fixed it to where it doesn't look derpy anymore.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
that shit is awesome. That is one of my favorite Batman suits in a long time. It fits him really well, and he doesn't look retarded like no hate, but like Ben what is it, fucking Christian
You about
Bale.
to say Oh, I thought you were about to say
Ben
Batfleck.
Affleck looked cool. No, he
Batfleck's
looked.
outfit.
Yeah, he looked
Fuck.
cool. No, Christian Bale. Hated that fucking Batman outfit. It looks retarded. It's like loose on him. It looks baggy and fat. I hate the way his mouth looks. Where he's like, oh, and he's like talking through like that.
Oh,
The like college humor like skits or
yeah.
whatever. Where those like it literally looks like that in the actual movie. Like it's not even good at all. I fucking despise it. It looks terrible. Um, Ben Affleck did a good job. I wish we would have gotten an actual bit like Batman movie with him instead of it being like a Batman versus Superman and shit like that. I like a solo Batman movie would have been fucking cool as hell.
Oh yeah. There's leaked concept or like those the previs of a scene. It was like a fight between him and Batman. Like they were like fighting in a street, like using like pieces of cars flying at each other and whatnot. And it looked fucking badass. It would have went hard.
Yeah, I that's what I'm saying. Like he could have done something with an actual just like here's your own movie. We're not gonna tag this into a Superman movie or a fucking Justice League or whatever. This is just Batman, and like you have your villains, and it would have been really cool, like an actual older, established Batman, and then it would have been really cool to get a trilogy of that with Ben Affleck, and then we would have gotten the Robert Pattinson trilogy of a younger Batman that's just getting established. Like it would have been cool to have that contrast.
That
Instead,
like
it's like
more towards the end of like he's like the older one.
I would say even like I guess we kind of got that with the Christian Bale Batman because he's kind of an older, established Batman. He's not
No,
like necessarily.
his version to the end, like the Ra's al Ghul, all that.
That's true, yeah, but it doesn't feel like it at the same time because it's like what there was no like actual development within that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He just gets cooler shit. It's like now he has a motorcycle. Now he's a newer Batmobile and new suit. That's what I mean. That character's fucking boring. Christian Bale was a snooze fest as Batman. He had no depth as Bruce Wayne. He didn't make me care about it. It was just cool because it was like Batman for the first time. You know what I mean? And Heath Ledger Joker was fucking awesome. Scarecrow was cool. Fucking
Bane
Liam
was
Neeson.
cool.
Bane fucking sucked. I hated that shit. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. What are you talking about? I hate Tom Hardy. I hate Tom Hardy with
Tom.
everything. I fucking. If you go look on my Twitter right now, I swear to God, I retweeted something about fucking fuck Tom Hardy or some shit. It was some movie that got canceled with him in it, and I was like, good. I hate him. He sucks. Tom Hardy's a fart, dude. That guy bugs me.
I saw that the Sam Fisher, he was Splinter Cell.
Yeah, dude, I don't want to watch that. Like, I'm glad that guy I'm not even trying to be negative. Like, I don't want him to play fucking Sam Fisher. I don't think he's nothing like that. No.
Oh, especially
Maybe.
nowadays, like old.
I guess maybe he would. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of him, so I'm a little bit of a hater. I'm biased. I don't know.
He did good in Venom, but especially in Venom, he's like
Oh,
a
he
fat,
fucking
like,
didn't.
really great. Like you're like obvious, like for what the movies
What did he
were.
do? He didn't do
He's
good in Venom. He's like, oh, Eddie, and he's like, what are you doing?
what
Like, he
about
sucks. He doesn't even
you
act well. He's
you
booty.
seen that Legend movie?
No.
No, that one's. I think that one will recover your opinion of Tom
What is
Hardy.
that about?
It's twin mob brothers, and like they're like gangsters back in like London type shit, and like one's like like a little bit like
I'll
screws
check
loose
it
in
out.
the head.
I don't know.
That
Tom Hardy's just
definitely
fucking
like that.
butt, dude. Everything I've seen him in, he's just I don't know. I don't know. I'm not trying to perpetuate Tom Hardy hate on the podcast, but guy just fucking bugs me.
Yeah, I feel it.
Maybe I'm a hater.
That's how I feel about Timothy Chalamet, dude.
I don't like him either. I agree with you there. That guy bugs the fuck out of me. He looks like a little douchebag.
Yeah.
So you said 9 or 10 for Penguin?
Yeah.
Which one? 9 or 10?
I'll go with 9.
9. And then we
Yeah.
both agree like 5, 5.5
5.
for Joker 2.
Just say 5. Keep it good. Like keep it even.
Okay. What, in your opinion, is the best movie with the worst sequel?
Oh, oh, man. Megamind?
I don't even think I've seen the sequel for that. Is it bad?
Exactly. Yes. They what's it called? It was one of those like, like it like got released on like Nickelodeon or some shit, and like the quality of it, the
Damn.
voice actors were gone. It pretty much like got shot in the foot type shit.
I'm trying to think because it is a hard question. It's like there's so many.
It's like one of those things like where the movie like the second movie killed the franchise. I could guess you could technically say Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, but I personally love that movie, but that was the movie that killed its franchise from them making a next one.
Mm, I can't even think of any movies that have done that right now for some reason. Like, what movies have like made a sequel and it was that bad? Like,
Oh,
for some reason I'm only thinking of like dubs where it's like a second one was way better, like Terminator 2.
yeah, no, yeah, 'cause they made Terminator 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, Terminator 2 was the best one though.
Oh
That's
yeah.
fire. That's the one with the T-1000.
Um,
Yeah.
Benchwarmers. They completely lost the magic with the second one. Different
I didn't
cast. All
even know there was a fucking second one.
it was one of
Grown
those
Ups
VO
2, bro. That's a good
grown
one.
ups
Grown
too.
Ups 2.
Yeah,
That
that
one was
one didn't
pretty shit.
magic. Joe Dirt too.
Joker 2.
Joker too. Yeah, there you go.
The Hangover Part 2.
No, they made three.
I know, but the second one wasn't as good as the first one.
What's the second one again? I
Bangkok.
forgot. Bangkok. Yeah, Mike Tyson tattoo, all that. Yeah, whatever. The monkey, bald head, the baby. Oh, that was the first. The baby was the first one.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably lock in and say Joker 2. Easy enough pick for me because that shit
Oh,
just came out and that's like the worst sequel for a fucking good movie I've ever seen. Like good ass movie, but bad sequel. What the fuck were they thinking? Like Jesus
mm,
Christ.
it's like holy. It's like the you ever see like the horse pictures? It's like
Shazam 2 is pretty bad
Shazam
as well.
2.
Like the first one was pretty good,
Yeah,
and then the second one was like, okay, what the fuck are we doing now?
yeah. They did something to that one too. It's funny enough, both DC. Something happened there.
Yeah, I remember showing my girlfriend that one and she liked it. And like me and Xavier watched that one in theaters. We both liked it. And then I remember watching the second one and I was like, this shit kind of sucks.
hmm I did the same thing. Like I tried to even like make myself like I was kind of excited for a little bit. Then I actually saw it and like, nah, it's not. Yeah, it had like
The
it
first one
was a
had a family vibe and like it had a good like endearing like this is like a superhero movie, but it's also like a good story of like this kid. You're kind of invested in the story of like everyone in there's likable and like they have a big house with all these kids that live there and this kid is like trying to be like his little brother type shit. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, there's a lot going on here. This kid wants to find his mom or whatever,
and then in fucking Shazam 2,
and
like
then they
there's like a
made a
pretty
sequel.
emotional scene like where he's like crying with his like foster parent, like, "Oh, you actually accept me as your own. Hell, like I love you," like all that, like like tears streaming down his face. Then he turns into Shazam, and then goofy ass fucking Zachary Levi, fucking he's smiling and cheesing and shit. Like, did y'all not like take a cue? Like you're like all of a sudden you're a god, you can't cry anymore. You're
He,
just
bro, he
like,
was the worst casting decision I've ever seen on a movie. Maybe like even in the first one, like I hate him. He
oh
does such
yeah,
a bad job at like evoking any kind of emotion out of anybody except for just like
it's like being a
hatred.
man.
He doesn't like do facial expressions well. He doesn't like do motions well. Like
X.
it's just always like I'm stupid. Like when he's Billy or whatever, and he's like the teenager, he's
Yeah,
smart. He's kind of quiet, kind of like
he's got some depth.
darker, like kind of. It seems like an angry, angsty kid. And then as soon as he's Shazam or whatever, he changes into like the dumbest
Bubbly.
or yeah, like a big silly guy. It's like this doesn't make sense. It seems like two different people. Like that doesn't. You're expecting me to? Oh, that's the same kid that you guys have been seeing this whole movie.
So this dark, like little angsty kid, like once he grows up, just like turns into like a bubbly, fun, like completely like 180 of the one he like originally is. Like maybe it's like the like the senses of like, oh yeah, you got all this power and whatnot, but you'd still have that in your head.
Yeah.
Even whenever like he was like fighting that giant ass dragon, he was still fucking. I feel like he was still like smiling and didn't have a fucking worry type shit.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm. He's done with DC, right?
Oh yeah, he's pretty much axed.
Thank God.
He threw a giant bitch fit whenever like I think it was like Fast and the Furious or there was some other movie like out John Wick 4. He's like, yeah, no, like John Wick 4 is an amazing movie and all that, but like it's not family friendly. Like go watch Shazam 2 over John Wick 4, all that. And like he started like, like freaking out, like crying and shit, like like obviously the movie was fucking flopping. And then like that, like, whenever when Black Adam was going on and like you said, Dwayne Johnson, like I don't wanna be associated with Shazam, and then he started bitching about that how like that's my villain. It's like should be like I should be in here like some type of shit. And then you hear about that Harold and the Purple Crayon movie.
Oh yeah, he was in that as well. Yeah,
That was fucking
I
huge.
heard that fucking flop too.
Yeah, huge ass flop. Uh, literally like Netflix, like like the streaming service, literally like I don't want it, you take it. No, I don't want it, you take it. I don't want it, you like like to get the rights to put it on there. Like, it was like something like, oh yeah, this streaming service just straight up denied like the offer of putting this movie on their platform. Like, damn, like that bad.
Jesus
Netflix ended up
Christ.
taking it though.
Yeah,
But if
no,
you ever wanted to
that's
watch Harold and the Purple Crayon starring Zachary
yeah.
Levi,
Fuck that. I
little
don't
Billy,
ever want to watch that shit.
little Big Billy,
But shit, you want to wrap this up?
to say.
Thank you guys
All
for
right.
watching episode 16 of Torspp. We'll catch you guys probably next week or some shit. We'll do a little preemptive Thanksgiving episode or something. And then we're gonna probably wrap up season 1 at episode 20, right?
20 sounds good.
And then we'll do a little break, and then we'll come back to you guys for the new year with the new season, new artwork, new energy, new topics. This has been a good one though. This is probably like the best. We've talked about a lot of shit. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. See you.
See.
What, double? Of course. Yeah. Oh no! Oh shit! The fuck did you do? Wow. You are one serious fucking buzzkill. I gotta make some dough. It's one way of looking at it.